idiot of Nigeria, he boldly came out and said, over 40 million people, they were just dotting a circle. These Ronukus were everywhere for 8 years. They supported Boko Haram. They said 5 states in eastern part of Nigeria, that they call them 5 plot of land, when you reach the size of Ibadan. I'm giving you this background so that you know where we are today. And you will know that these Olori Burukus don't speak for anybody. They do not speak for Fulani. They do not speak for Hausa. They do not speak for the North. They do not speak for the South. They do not speak for Yoruba. They do not speak for anybody. And if you remember all of this is how criticizing Boko Haram turned into Fulani phobia. They said now because we hated Fulani, they said because Boko Haram is president and he's a Fulani, that is why we hated him. They said we hated him for calling out the corruption, calling out the nepotism, calling out the incompetence, calling out the impunity, calling out the failures. They said now because we hate him, because he be Fulani. It wasn't the Fulanis that came out and said criticizing Boko Haram was because we hated them. Oh, it was this Lagos Abobakus. It was them. They were writing different columns. They were on TV. They were doing all of this because that's the only way to cover their failure. When you say there is no electricity, they will say, national grid don't collapse, so Ogun kill Boko Haram. They will say, Ogun kill you too. Ogun kill your papa. Why do you hate Fulani like this? Why are you people so full of hate like this? This was how we ran now. They run now so for 8 years. So. And that is why, that was why when Tifnubu started this Milokon, they sat and said, we must be ready. We know say all this, this is what they told themselves. So they said, all these Igbo people, they will leave the Fulani now. No be say Igbo people come out and say, Fulani, you must die. Fulani must go. No, nothing. No. Fulani terrorists invaded everyone's space. People reacted. They called out the head of government of Nigeria, who happened to be a Fulani man. Do your job. Arrest these criminals. But rather than arrest the criminals, everyone calling them out, everyone was tagged the enemy of Nigeria. It wasn't the Fulani that called the Boko Haram critics enemies of Nigeria. It was Tifnubu and these Ronukus. They don't like me. I don't like them. And we don't pretend about it except when they come around. Begin to sound like exposing them is pandering to the Igbos. I'm coming to that part too. So the narrative was, if you are against Tifnubu, it automatically should be translated into hating Yoruba. Do you understand that now? It is automatic. Even if you are a Yoruba person, the moment you criticize and do not align with Tifnubu's, what do you call it? Tifnubu's kleptomaniac, slavish political ideology, you are an enemy of Yoruba land. And you are supporting other enemies. Because according to these guys, Igbos are considered the main threat to their political existence, which is not true. But they had to create that in the context of a whole Nigeria. It does work. And that is why they will say, if you do not agree with this line, then you hated Yoruba. And no, sorry, you hate Tifnubu, so you hate Yoruba. Boko Haram was failing. It was being called out. No, it's because you hated Fulani. To the point that even the Fulanis themselves were wondering like, you know, that whenever a Fulani criticized Boko Haram and then Pastor Ruga, they will quickly go to that person. They will either say, we know that you are Igbo. You are just using a Fulani name. I don't know why all these Igbo people are always doing this. Do you know those who are pushing all of that? These Ronukus using their Lagos Ibadan, well, it's sort of kind of spread over the social media because they presented themselves as those who wanted to save Nigeria. Then they destroyed Nigeria. Rather than take responsibility for that, tribal card. Bokwari is a failure. Say, we know that you hate Nigeria. Who hates Nigeria more than those who get free food, free house, free cars, free car, free this, free medical, free education for their children, because you pay for all of these things. And yet, see what they have done to Nigeria. Okay. They managed to do that for 8 years under Bokwari. And after that 8 years, it became obvious that for Tinubu to become your president, we need to push this card again at the national level. And they did, to cover up the rigging, the other things that they did. As long as you are divided, they will have their way. Then it is time for them to now govern. The people that condemned naira to dollar at the rate of 145 naira, they took that same naira to 1,700 naira to a dollar in 9 years. The people that condemned the poverty in 2014, when a bag of rice was 7,500 naira, they've taken it to over 90,000 naira a bag. The same set of criminals who condemned a liter of petrol at 87 naira per liter, diesel at 97 naira per liter, they have taken the petrol to over 1,000 naira per liter, and the diesel to over 1,500 naira per liter. The people that condemned an inflation of 7.8% in 2014, they have taken the same inflation to over 40% in 2024. The economists that built Yoruba land, as they sold it to you, that how could Nigeria be generating 10,000 megawatts, distributing 5,000 in this day and time? Nigeria should be generating 50,000 megawatts. This lunatic collapsed Nigeria national grid for over 400 times in 9 years. The people that told you that how could an oil-rich country like Nigeria be having people in poverty, over 60 million people in poverty? How dare, in 2014, the same people have now dipped over 150 million Nigerians into multi-dimensional poverty in 9 years. I can go on and on and on. Rather than them take responsibility, how could people who met Nigeria refineries working at over 45% capacity in 2015, and today Nigeria is importing crude oil, importing not just finished product. Oh. Nigeria is importing crude oil. Nigeria is also importing finished product. Nigeria is now spending over 6 trillion naira a year on subsidy. Yet, a liter of, rather than take responsibility, they are funding tribal division, a threat, while more people and more people are falling into poverty, left, right, and center. Think, you two should think about it. They do not want to take responsibility. They will never take responsibility until they kill all of us. Until they kill all of us. We now have Yoruba. You see, the people that met, this is another one. The people that met out of school children data of 8 million out of school children. Today, even though they are brandishing different data, right? Today, these rogues have pushed over 20 million supposed school-age children out of school, and they plan to do more. The people that came and said, what was Boko Haram to Nigerian army? This same country now spends over 5 trillion naira on ammunitions, arms and ammunitions, to Kano Jetty, this and that. And now we have Boko Haram 1, Boko Haram 2, ISWAP North, ISWAP South. Now we have a Fulani terrorist. We have a Jalabia, the Islamia. We have another one called the Jibwis. We have another one called the APC. We have a lot of terrorists everywhere right now. Terrorism has now become institutionalized, like industrialized. Terrorists, they use social media. Terrorists on TikTok that they do live. In 9 years, rather than take responsibility, they will rather push you into tribal hatred. Igbos hate Yoruba, Yoruba hate this or that, because they have switched side to, it is no longer Boko Haram. What they told themselves in their WhatsApp group was that now we must make sure that the way we defended Boko Haram for 8 years, and we gaslighted the Igbos, we blamed the Igbos this or that, or anybody else that could be blamed. We expect the Fulanis, we expect the northern Nigeria to do the same thing for Tifnumbu. So they kicked it off, and they said, we must start with the Igbos by making sure that politically or physically, we must, because this is no longer Lagos now, this is Nigeria. So we must take it beyond Lagos and make it like anybody who criticizes Tifnumbu, anybody who says anything about Tifnumbu, and as well as these Ronukus that are now being called the Yoruba starts, the bad starts, the Ronu virus or Yoru virus, because they're actually virus. These guys are virus in what do you call it? In everything they get themselves involved in. They are contagious. No, are they contagious? Yes, they are. These guys are virus. They are dragging the Yorubas into Tifnumbu's defense, even when Yorubas are also victims of the destroyed Nigeria by APC. So the way they make everybody believe that criticizing Boko Haram wasn't criticizing Boko Haram. It was actually, every time you say something about Boko Haram, it wasn't because you are reacting as a Nigerian who is a victim of their failed government. No. It is because you hate the Fulanis. Oh, it is because of Buhari. Oh, because of Buhari, you now hate Fulanis. Right, that is it. Oh, yeah. You hated Fulanis because of Buhari, Abi. Even if you don't like Buhari, must you hate Fulanis? I said, no, I don't hate Fulanis. I hate Fulani terrorists. Is there anything bad in that? No. Instead of, we know that everybody, there are criminals everywhere. Instead of you to say kidnappers, instead of you to say bandit, you are saying Fulani bandit, Fulani terrorists. It is because Boko Haram is Fulani. It's because you hated Fulani. I said, no, are you mad? Come out of it, man. Fulani terrorists, yes. Don't ever in your life say we have criminals everywhere. There are no Yorubas inside the Zamfara forest kidnapping people for ransom. There are no Igbos inside Sokoto forest kidnapping people for ransom. Shomadini. I haven't seen Igbos, armed Igbos, enter Kano, begin to shoot people in their villages, kidnapping and raping them. We have criminals everywhere. This is the problem. They said, if you blame Boko Haram and then you also call out the Fulani terrorists, it's because you hated the Fulanis. That's exact card they are playing you right now. And you know something? There were actually Fulanis who believed them at the time. Even though they are also victims of that insecurity, the victims of that collapsed economy. They are. But guess what? They were able to believe that even at that, if they ever speak out and condemn Tifnumbu, they are helping the enemies of Fulanis. So, Emeka in Enugu, that is trying to calculate now that the tariff, import tariff has tripled, is trying to calculate his loss and his profit and loss account in Enugu. But somebody in Zamfara who is running away from Fulani kidnappers, Boko Haram, he's not going to blame Boko Haram. He's not going to blame APC. They are making him or her believe that there is an Emeka somewhere in Anambra that hates her and her children. There is one, what do you call it? Uche in Abia that hates them so much. Not because not because Boko Haram, a Fulani man, could not only protect the Fulanis, could not only just protect Nigerians, he couldn't even protect the Fulanis. But a Fulani is being made because of this Tifnumbu and gang and their divisive policies, right? To believe that there is one Emeka somewhere who hates him because he's a Fulani. I heard that Igbo people hate us. So, who the hell are you? Sorry, who are you? My name is Alima. I'm a Fulani. So, Alima, sorry, I don't know you. Say, but I know that you are Igbo, and I've been told that you hate me. Let me tell you, we will fight every Igbo that hates us. We will always defeat you. Look at you. Oh yeah, come. I said, what the fuck? What is wrong with this guy? Because they've made him believe or make her believe that there is an Igbo who hates her, not the criminal government that can protect her children, protect the people around her. I mean, no. Now that same template is what they are now using, and I need to remind you. They call me names all the time. I have seen Yorubas who are victims of insecurity. I have seen Yorubas who are victims, a lot of them, who are victims of this failed economy. I have seen Yorubas who have lost so much, lost their jobs, lost their savings, lost their businesses, lost their investment, lost their families, lost their, their lives. All because of the failing policies of these rogues, APC. But these Solori Brukus, again, making you believe that they are progressives who developed Southwest Nigeria. And then you go to the Southwest Nigeria and you are like, this place is going to be like a war-torn place where they say they just finished war. No, you this Mayegu, you be Ali. Let me tell you something. All these Igbo people that you are defending, because to this Ashiris, I am defending Igbos. No, I'm not speaking for those victims of this bad governance in Yoruba land. No. Because they don't care about them. They don't. Even if we are poor, you leave us alone. We will never allow anybody to insult our leader. Don't let anybody that insult Yoruba. If you insult Yoruba, I will stand and fight you. Or go kill you. You cannot insult my tribe. How can you insult us? Yeah, and wash, and there's foam, and your mouth is foaming. Olórí burúkú thought conditioned. These people don't care. You know that? So it is the same template. The template of, even if they kill us, we will never allow the Igbos. Igbos must go say, what the heck? Look around you. Just take a look at take a look at people around you for a moment. And take a look at the rogues that you call leaders. Everything is collapsing around us, left, right, and center. Everything. And that is why I laugh. When I see another Delulu Efulefu, one Igbo idiot, who also want to flex muscle. It is me and these Yoruba people today. You see all these Yoruba people? They hate it. We don't say they hate us. And I will make sure, say, you see this Yoruba, we'll give them the woto now. We say, who is this? What do you mean, who is this? My name is, I say, okay, go on. I know that you Yorubas are betrayers. You Yorubas are, I say, excuse me? Yes. I know that you hated us. And we know. We don't even know why. Why do you Yorubas hate us? I say, what? What are you talking about? This is what APC created. And it is just like a contraption of loonies, to the point that sounding right, they make you say, now you decrease. You will see people, they will say, Mayegun, I have been seeing all these things people are writing about Yorubas. Is it because Tinubu is a Yoruba man? Does that then mean that you have to hate Yoruba? I'm like, God damn it, man. Where should we start from? They play the same card for Bokwari. It further impoverished northern Nigeria more. Our people are going through a lot. Irresponsible politicians are kind of still telling you in this day and time that some people hate you because of what you have when you know you have nothing. And the people they claim to hate you are just like ordinary folks. Me, you, him, her. See? Just ordinary folks that barely know ourselves. I don't know you. You probably don't know me beyond this place. But they have created the impression that if you say anything about Ifnumbu, who is a president of Nigeria, whose action will not spare anyone, even if you are not supporting him. Just like Bokwari. Bokwari's action affected every soul associated with Nigeria. Every soul. Nobody was spared. But he got away with it because, people who didn't like him are the ones who are criticizing him. Bokwari tried his best for Nigeria. May other people go try. By the victims of his government. Now, in Yoruba land as well, a Yoruba man is there. And I, as a Yoruba man, should feel offended if somebody says something about Ifnumbu. And in the process, they say, a Yoruba man, these Yoruba people, they always support their own and this and that. I say, okay. They don't put all of us together. So I have to get mad and begin to say, even though I don't support Ifnumbu, how dare you be insulting? I say, how about they insult you simply because out of 36 states in Nigeria, or 6 geopolitical in Nigeria, one region is like Dubai. They've got everything. And that region, which has the best medical facilities, this region, they have the best economy. They've carved it out of this region. Is the, it's the most connected region